Hey guys on YouTube, it's the 206 Analysis. I'm back. I gotta do my predictions right now for UFC 139. And I think I'll take a prediction shot at Vader and Monson because I think it's just a prediction that I probably should do because we are seeing the last Emperor, even though he isn't himself his last three fights. I still have to go with I still got to do some predicting on the last Emperor, who basically was a big hero of mine in the beginning of my me becoming a fan of mixed martial arts when I watched Pride back in the day. So let's get down to it for the main card. So for UFC 139, I like the card. I like some of the matchups, but the one matchup I don't like is the first fight is Stephen Bonner versus Kyle Kingsbury. I don't think it's not a great matchup. You're putting a very technical striker like Kyle Kingsbury against Stephen Bonner, who is a great fighter. He is a great fighter, no doubt. But his, but again, he isn't he isn't the best striker. You gotta think of that. He isn't the best striker. His striking has been limited, and Bonner isn't really what he was back in his old days from 2006 to 2007. 2006, 2007 were pretty good years for him. But in the end, for this fight, I'm thinking that the striker, Cal Kingsbury, will take the fight. Probably TKO him in the second round. One of the two. I don't think he'll knock him out because Bonner has a great chin. He has a great chin. If you he has a great chin. He hasn't been knocked out ever. He hasn't been knocked out at all for a while. I don't even think he's been knocked out. One second. Let me check. Sorry for taking your time. Stefan Bonner, 34 years old. He has not been KO'd. His only ways of being stopped were by a cut, and I still got to go with Kingsbury in the end. So I picked Kingsbury via TKO in the second round. Now to the next matchup. I kind of like this matchup because they're two guys that we know that can be challengers in the future. We see Martin Kampmann and Rick Story, and I like the fight. We got a wrestler and a good grappler and striker. But with this fight, we saw Rick Story has problems with wrestlers. He has a problem with wrestlers. He can't. He was beaten by Charlie Brenneman, the Spaniard, which was a big upset. Again, I was wanting my Washington native to win this fight, and when I saw this fight happen, I was just shocked that my native Washington native, who I thought may have had a chance to fight GSP. I don't think he was going to win, but get some recognition for the state of Washington because we have done a lot for developing the sport of MMA. Seeing him get beaten, so when I saw that fight, I realized that Rick Story has problems with wrestlers. Uh, but Cameron isn't really the best wrestler in the game, but he has grappling. He has grappling techniques, and truthfully, when he fought Jake Shields, I thought he won the fight. I thought he won the fight. He was able to beat a wrestler like Jake Shields, who Jake Shields has been. I think he's a way better he's a way better wrestler than Rick Story ever was, no doubt. So this fight, I'm gonna go with Martin Kamen via decision. I think the wrestling will be an easy. His wrestling will be Story's kryptonite, and I think he's gonna take this fight via decision. So I go with I go with Martin Kamen via decision. Now to the next fight. Three of the main fights people are looking forward to is Uriah Faber and Brian Bowles. Now, looking at Uriah Faber's past fights, haven't been the best. 4-4. He was one of the best. He was the best fighter in his division at what was it? Bantamweight. Yes, bantamweight when he was at a bantamweight. But after the loss to Mike Brown, he hasn't been himself. And I really want Uriah Faber to be a top challenger. And I actually thought he won against Dominic Cruz. I think I'm the only one to say this. I saw the fight differently. Again, we fight fans have different opinions. I'm just saying that's my opinion. So, but he's going against a guy like Brian Bowles, who he's been doing good in his last two fights. He's bounced back from his serious hand and foot injuries. He's won two in a row. But I think he's such a great wrestler. Faber is such a great wrestler that I think he is going to take it by a decision. So in for this fight, I see Uriah Faber taking the decision, uh, beating Bowles via decision. So that's what I think. For now, to the co-main event, Vanderlei Silva Kung Lee. I don't really like this matchup because I just know that Lee striking his martial arts style will just fuck Silva up. Just Silva will not be able to stand with a guy's striking like Kung Lee. Kung Lee is such a diverse fighter who has basically shown that I think, in my opinion, that a guy like Lyoto Machida deserves to be a champion because he uses martial arts. He uses a traditional mix of martial art of karate. He's a Machida karate artist, and he's done so well with his striking. He's done well with his backing up. He knows how to really take fighters out. He's really great reflexes. He has great reflexes. He's really good at not getting hit. He does a good job at not getting hit, which I like that. And Kung Lee isn't the same, but he does so well with his striking. He's done so well in kickboxing that I think he's going to probably stop Silva in the first round. And Silva hasn't looked great, has looked horrible since coming to the UFC. 2-6 in the last 8 fights. 4 losses have been horrible KOs. And I'm gonna go with Lee on this fight. I think Silva has taken so much damage from his career that he has nothing left. So Kung Lee via first round knockout. I'm gonna go with a knockout. So now to the next main fight, Mauricio Shogun Rua versus Dan Henderson. I must say, I'm so glad this finally has happened. For me being a Pride fan, I was just thinking this fight has to happen one day. These guys are such can box very well. But when you see this. Mauricio Shogun Rua has power in both hands. With Dan Henderson, you'll see him he uses the right hand more often than his left. His right hand is his most powerful, and he really likes to utilize the right hand. So I'm seeing this fight's going to be a striking match, definitely. I think Dan Henderson, if the fight isn't going as well for striking, he's going to go to the ground. But I think Rua will be able to just take Henderson out. He won't knock him out. Most definitely will never. I think he'll not knock him out. I don't think there's even a chance of him getting of knocking him out. Actually, knocking him out unconsciously. But I could see him getting the TKO victory over Dan Henderson. I just say it's a lot doubtful because Dan Henderson has a very great chin. If you've seen his fights, he has a pretty good chin. The Jake Shields fight, that was a weird fight, seeing him really get dropped like that. But again, if I really have to pick someone, I'm gonna have to go with Mauricio Shogun Rua. The striking is better with Shogun Rua, and I really think he'll take this fight via decision. I think it will be a fight that's enjoyable. I don't know if it'll be the greatest fight of all time. I highly doubt that after the Forrest Griffin Stephen Bonner fight. So I think this will be a decision win for Rua. That's my predictions. I might get a prediction for Jeff Monson or Fedor Emelianenko and Jeff Monson. Again, Fedor was my hero in Pride when I watched Pride, and I think it's just my obligation to really respect his careers, and I think I should be doing this. So I'll catch you guys later after the fight. I'll be reporting after the fight. I'll be able to watch it this week. So I'll see you guys later. Peace out.